My boyfriend of 2.5 years at the time, Zach, who was once the source of my comfort, had morphed into a stranger cloaked in secrecy. His behavior grew increasingly mysterious as he hid his interactions from me, guarding his messages and calls with an unsettling intensity. Alongside this, a darker transformation occurred. The warmth in his eyes had turned to an icy distance as he descended into the realm of physical and emotional abuse whenever I questioned him. Fed up with his secretive behavior, I decided to try to check his phone one day because I knew that he had to be chatting with other women. But as I attempted to do so, he bit my hand, sprinted outside, grabbed a hammer, and ruthlessly smashed his phone into pieces, later buying a new one with a different number. I had also attempted to surprise him while he was engrossed in messaging someone on an online game that he played called RuneScape, but as soon as I approached him from behind, he swiftly shut his laptop, spun around, and grabbed me by the hair. "Why are you spying on me?" he hissed. "It's none of your business who I'm talking to." This was all that I needed to confirm my suspicions. One night, he even awoke in a panic, his eyes filled with tears. He told me that he couldn't shake the feeling of missing a female friend from his past. Refusing to disclose further, he abruptly declared a 2-week visit to his mother, promising me daily calls. Days passed without a word, as he ignored all of my texts and calls. I later discovered that he had abandoned me and moved away to Florida to be with another woman. Enraged, I confronted him over the phone, demanding answers. He finally responded, but his explanations were filled with deceit, as usual, claiming that she was just the mere friend who he had mentioned before. I confronted him once more, expressing my skepticism about their just friends claim. "Well, she has tried hitting on me, she cuddles up to me, and, on one occasion, she locked me in her bedroom and forced herself on me. I couldn't resist." He finally admitted it. "But you know, I'd still like to be with you, too. So if you'd like, you could come move in with us, and the 3 of us could share one another." Disgusted, I bluntly told him to go FK himself and ended the call. Fueled by betrayal, a dark desire for retribution ignited within me. That's when I delved into the forbidden realm of black magic. Armed with a photograph, a strand of his hair, his cherished childhood bear, and a once significant ear cuff, I performed a ritual. In the stillness of my darkened bedroom, I covered each window and mirror with thick, black fabric, completely sealing out the outside world. Then, I arranged 5 black candles in a circle on the floor and lit them one by one. Each candle represented a facet of the spell of revenge, anger, pain, sorrow, fear, and betrayal. Their flickering flames cast eerie shadows on the walls. I placed his childhood bear at the center, harboring memories of vulnerability. The photo of him, capturing innocence lost. The strand of his hair, binding the spell to him. And finally, his ear cuff, symbolizing the pain inflicted. As the candles danced with ghostly flames, I focused my intent on the items as I bound them all together, chanting in a low, ominous tone. Shadows rise, vengeance sought. Mirror reflections twisted, thoughts distraught. Photo, hair, bear, and cuff. Bind them tight and strong enough. Candles dance, secrets unfold. Revenge's tale in darkness is told. Windows sealed, mirrors shroud. Cursed whispers are uttered aloud. Drawer locked, the curse confined. Retribution is born, and justice binds. In the shadows, it shall dwell. A haunting tale, revenge's spell. Once the ritual was complete, I extinguished the candles in reverse order and stowed the cursed items away in a dark, forgotten drawer, sealing his fate in the shadows and locking away the malevolence until its time of release. The next day, a frantic call pierced the eerie silence. His voice trembled through the receiver, a distorted symphony of panic, describing an inexplicable pressure in his head. "What did you do to me?" he pleaded. "I just stepped out of my car, and out of nowhere, it feels like someone is squeezing my head. And suddenly you entered my mind, so I called you." As I listened, a sinister satisfaction curled around my heart like a serpent tightening its grip. I listened as his torment heightened, burdened by my presence in his thoughts. His tale unfolded like a nightmare woven from my desires. His mind, a battlefield of torment, replayed visions of our shared past, haunting him with my indomitable presence. The threads of my dark magic had been woven into the very fabric of his being, a tapestry of retribution. He screamed and cried as the pressure increased. "Please, make it stop," he begged. "Please, just get out of my head. I'm sorry," he pleaded. "What the heck? My eyes and nose are bleeding." Then, with a sudden, grotesque finality, he screamed as his head exploded into a gruesome mess. I reveled in the aftermath as the news spoke of his inexplicable demise. The authorities were puzzled over the macabre scene, unable to fathom the malevolent forces that had conspired against him. As whispers of my involvement danced through the shadows, a dark satisfaction settled within me. In the silence that followed, I found a perverse sense of closure, a sick satisfaction in the unraveling of his existence.